In the beginning, this world had nothing. But then the goddess created 9 races: dragonites, elves, demons, dwarves, the Demon King race, dark elves, chimeras, beast folk, and lastly, the weakest of them all, humans. The story begins with a boy named Light. He says goodbye to his family and heads out on a brand new journey. Since childhood, he had only one dream. No matter what it took, he wanted to become an adventurer. And since his race was human, he knew the path wouldn't be easy. He finally arrives at a city where people from all over the world gather just to become adventurers. He starts looking around, hoping to find an adventurer's guild as soon as possible, but suddenly, a few beastmen show up behind him and start talking trash. In this world, humans are considered extremely weak and are bullied constantly. Light finally enters the adventurer's guild and speaks with the receptionist. He begins the registration process. She asks him if he has any kind of gift. He answers confidently, saying yes, he does. His gift is called Unlimited Gacha. A set of cards appears in front of him, and if he wants, he can summon whatever appears on them into real life. But Light is only level 15, so he can't use this ability properly yet. His first summons are a broken fork, a rotten apple, and a stale piece of bread. Even the receptionist looks a little confused seeing this. She asks what he wants to do next, and he says he wants to become an adventurer. She points him toward the quest board, but he can't read anything. She sighs and tells him his gift is low rank anyway, so she has some basic jobs for him. He can collect firewood, coal, or dirt. Light is passionate about becoming an adventurer, so he agrees immediately. He heads into the forest and works hard to gather wood, coal, and finally dirt. He earns a small amount of money. He thinks to himself that it isn't much, but at least he can buy dinner. As he walks away, some beast folk block his path again. They blame him for bumping into them and take the little money he earned. He can't fight back. He's a human, and he's only level 15. No one steps in to help him. But suddenly, a hand reaches out to him. Light looks up and sees a beautiful elf. She tells him he doesn't need to be afraid. Light is shocked. Elves are considered upper class, and they look down on humans. But this elf is different. Her companions join her and introduce themselves. They are members of the Ganko tribe. San? One of them, a wolf beastman named Garo, speaks up. Then everyone gives their introduction. Sasha, the level 308 elf, Drago, the level 512 dragon, Oboro, the level 301 dwarf, Sino, the dark elf, and finally Zar, a chimera. They tell Light they just need one human to complete their group and ask if he'd like to join them. Light can't believe anyone would want to be his friend, but he happily agrees. The next day, the group explores a dungeon. A bunch of snake monsters attack Light, but Drago steps in and kills them instantly. Another snake launches at him, but Sasha jumps in and saves him again. She leans closer and asks if he's hurt, calling him adorable. Everyone treats him kindly, and Light loves the atmosphere. There's no discrimination, no hate. Soon, the group starts teasing Sasha and Light, making jokes, and Light enjoys it even more. Drago suddenly tells him to stand up because he wants to drink the tea Light makes. Light is thrilled because they treat him like one of their own. Eventually, the group reaches a dead end. Drago tells them this spot will work. Everyone becomes serious, even Sasha, but Light stays busy preparing tea for everyone. Suddenly, Drago approaches him and says they've decided to kick him out of the group. Light freezes, not understanding what he means. Drago repeats himself. Light is no longer part of their group. Garo steps forward, saying Light didn't hear him properly. He's out. Even Sasha, who had been so kind, suddenly gets angry and says she never liked him. Everyone starts insulting him. Light is confused and tries to laugh it off, asking where the hidden camera is. But they tell him it's not a prank. They say they never liked him from the beginning. Light asks why they suddenly want to kill him, and they tell him the real reason. His gift, Unlimited Gacha. Light doesn't understand. They explain that their boss ordered them to kill him, so they befriended him just to lower his guard. Now they plan to finish him off. Garo attacks first. When the hit lands, Light finally realizes everything they said was true. Terrified, he runs for his life, but Garo enjoys the chase and keeps striking at him. Sasha fires an arrow that knocks Light to the ground. Garo moves toward Light and starts slashing him with his claws. He kicks him hard and sends him flying across the ground. Then he says he's going to torture him slowly until he dies, and he begins stomping on Light's wounds over and over. But Sasha tells him to finish it quickly. Somewhere inside, Light still has a tiny hope of surviving. Garo steps forward to deliver his final attack, but at that very moment, Light slowly crawls forward. Suddenly, a teleportation circle activates beneath him. Garo charges in to finish the job, but Light vanishes. When Light opens his eyes, he realizes he's still inside the dungeon. Later, he discovers he has been teleported to the lowest level of the Abyss. This is a place filled only with monsters above level 1000, all of them around S rank. Light whispers to himself, wondering if he's already dead. What mistake had he even made? He thinks of his parents and starts crying, knowing he'll never be able to return. He remembers his group again and asks why they betrayed him. He wants nothing more than to destroy every one of them, but he can't do anything. He has no power, and he's only level 15. As he's speaking, a level 1000 monster appears behind him. It's a mithril class creature, extremely powerful. It walks toward him, and Light is terrified. He says he'll have to use his worthless ability one last time. Light activates Unlimited Gacha. Suddenly, a bright light bursts out from the card, just as the monster charges at him. And then, a very cute girl materializes from the light. In a single second, she obliterates the level 1000 monster completely. Light can't even understand what just happened. The girl who appeared looks overpowered and is wearing a maid uniform. She walks toward Light, places her hand on him, and heals all his wounds in an instant. It seems she used Super Medicate. Light realizes all his injuries are completely gone. He doesn't feel any pain anymore. They introduce themselves. The maid learns that her master's name is Light, and she becomes very happy when she hears it. She thinks to herself that Lord Light is such a beautiful name. She continues talking to him. Light asks for her name, and she tells him her name is May. Her level is 999, which means she's extremely powerful. May explains everything about herself. She says she is a super ultra rare guard who was summoned here through Light's Unlimited Gacha. Light can't believe his ability could ever summon someone this overpowered. But May tells him that Lord Light's power is extremely strong and can even become dangerous. She starts explaining more about Unlimited Gacha, but first she asks him if she may appraise him, which is one of her many skills. Light soon learns that she doesn't have just one gift, but many. May uses her appraisal skill and begins analyzing his body. She notices his sword is incredibly large, which means the plot is going to develop in a very interesting direction. Then she explains how Unlimited Gacha actually works. With this gift, Light can summon many types of cards. Super rare cards, super ultra rare cards, normal cards, and error cards. The results depend on the amount of mana in the air around him. That's why when he used his magic in the Adventurers Guild, nothing great appeared. The air had no mana at all. But here, at the lowest level of the Abyss, the mana is extremely dense. That's why he could summon a super ultra rare guard. Now Light finally begins to understand his ability. May thanks him for coming all the way down to this level of the dungeon just so she could be summoned. Light tells her everything. He says he didn't come here on purpose. He was betrayed and thrown into this place by the people he trusted. He cries, saying he never did anything wrong. Seeing Light cry makes May emotional, and she becomes even angrier on his behalf. She says if he wants, she can bring him the heads of every single one of his former teammates. He only needs to give the order. But Light stops her immediately. He says he doesn't want her to kill them because he will take his revenge himself. His only mistake was being weak. But now he says he has had enough. He will become powerful and he will destroy each one of his teammates with his own hands. May promises she will stay with him no matter what path he chooses. Light thanks her. After that, Light uses his Unlimited Gacha ability once again in the Abyss, planning to build a massive kingdom right here, and from that kingdom he will take his revenge. If you want part 2, make sure to hype the video as much as you can. As soon as this video reaches 200 comments, I'll upload the next part. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next episode. And now we move to the story 3 years later inside the same base. Light has built an enormous kingdom using his Unlimited Gacha. He walks forward and we see that he has summoned an entire army of maids. By now, Light has also become a bit stronger. He truly loves his kingdom, and everyone living there praises him. All the maids are crazy about getting a chance to serve Light, but he keeps moving forward as usual. Slowly, Light has developed his kingdom into something impressive. And in this kingdom, only humans live, because every other species had betrayed him. Light addresses his people, and everyone looks genuinely happy with him. They all see him as their king, and they truly adore him. Moving ahead, Light asks May about Aoki. Aoki is one of his special cards, summoned through unlimited gacha, and she's extremely powerful. She's a scout who keeps an eye on monsters in the forest. Light's entire surrounding territory is deep forest, so Aoki plays a major role. Light then asks Mei about Ellie. Ellie is a mage he also summoned through unlimited gacha, and she's level 999. She is extremely overpowered as well. They need to expand the kingdom as soon as possible because they're running out of food. Next, we learn about another new card Light summoned. Her name is Najuna. She's level 9999 and she's a knight. Light asks Mei where Najuna is. Najuna usually spends the whole day and night patrolling the castle, watching for intruders. We see her in a knight uniform as she begins her rounds. Meanwhile, Light and Mei finally arrive back at the castle, where Light meets his trainer, Jack, also summoned through unlimited gacha. When Jack sees Light, he casually says, "Hey Light, what's up?" Mei doesn't like this at all because she can't tolerate any human being too casual with her master. Light then leaves with Jack to begin training. We learn that Light has already been training for a while, and his level has started to increase. He goes one-on-one with Jack, punching him in the stomach. But Jack's iron blood barrier ability keeps him completely unharmed. Light can't do any damage at all. They continue training while Najuna keeps patrolling. Suddenly she runs into a group of maids. These maids are jealous of Mei the head maid because she stays with Light 24 hours a day. They stop Najuna and say, "Najuna, are you free? We need to talk." Then they fill her head with lies. They tell her she should patrol Lord Light's room. Najuna, being a bit naive, agrees and heads straight to Light's room. She meets Mei there, who becomes extremely shy when she sees Najuna. Najuna begins questioning Mei. What is she doing in Light's room? Are they trying to twist the story? As she looks around, she notices the bed, and she immediately suspects Mei. Najuna shows Mei a letter, the one the other maids gave her. She reads it out loud. The letter is full of insults aimed at Mei. When Mei hears this, she becomes furious. As a reward, Mei hands Najuna some money. Najuna then goes to a shop to buy something and returns to the castle. There she meets Aoki, who has just come back from the surface. Najuna asks her how things are outside. Did she fight any monsters? Aoki tells her no, there are no monsters around. Najuna becomes happy hearing that. Aoki then shows her a letter she obtained, and Najuna praises her. Meanwhile, Light is still training with Jack in the dungeon. Keep exchanging punches without stopping. Najuna now has nothing to do, so she goes to Light's throne. She sits on it and starts fantasizing, imagining that Light is sitting with her, planning their future kingdom together. But in the middle of her daydream, she accidentally knocks off a piece of a statue and breaks it. Panicking, she quickly fixes it and runs away. Back to Light and Jack. After training, they go to bathe and rest. While bathing, Jack tells Light, "Master, we need to go to the surface." The moment Light hears the word surface, he remembers his past, especially the beetle incident. He says, "Yes, Jack, I have to go. I need to complete my revenge. But this time, I'll always keep my guard up so no one can betray me again." Meanwhile, we see Mei and the other maids. Mei has now learned what they all think of her. The other maids are terrified because they know Mei is level 9999 and also the Chimera Light summoned first. They panic and apologize to her. Mei says, "Why did you insult me in the letter?" The maids stutter and say it was a mistake. Mei scolds them heavily. They all tremble in fear. Mei finally gives them their punishment. You must clean the entire hall yourselves, and without using any magic. The maids are shocked. Without magic? But how? Mei looks at them and says, "Do you have a problem with that?" They immediately reply, "No, head maid Mei, not at all." Terrified, they all run off to do the punishment. Now we return to Najuna, who is out in the city. Suddenly, Ellie shows up behind her. The two start talking, and as usual, both of them end up fighting over Light. Ellie says, "I have only one dream, to have dinner with Lord Light." Najuna replies, "Yeah, same here, and I also want to play with his sword." Najuna pauses and asks, "Sword? What does that even mean?" But Najuna is so clueless that she has no idea what Ellie is talking about. Ellie is a magician who uses magic, while Najuna only has her sword. But her swordsmanship is incredible. Later that night, we see all the maids holding another secret meeting. They whisper nervously, "Oh no, Mei found out about our plan. Should we poison her?" Someone quickly says, "No, we can't. She's immune to poison." Then they all panic, wondering what to do. They all feel jealous of Mei because she stays with Light 24 hours a day. They even start thinking that May knows every inch of Light's body. Soon they learn that May was the first card Light ever summoned using unlimited gacha. Hearing this makes them even more frantic. Just then, May herself walks in. She says, "It seems you were talking about me." All of them panic. "No, Headmaid May, we weren't saying anything." They're terrified. May tells them that when Light first summoned her, they had no time for anything else. Hearing this gives the maids a tiny bit of relief, but they're still extremely scared. They beg her not to kill them. "Please, May, we're like your loyal pet dogs. Please forgive us." But May gives them another punishment. She says, "You will clean Lord Light's throne room, and you will do it without magic." The maids panic even more. "Without magic? How are we supposed to do that?" May replies, "You should have thought about that earlier." A moment later, all the maids arrive in the throne room and begin cleaning everything by hand. But then something goes wrong. Now, while one of the maids is cleaning the throne, she accidentally knocks off a small piece of a statue and breaks it. All of them freeze in shock. Meanwhile, we see Najuna getting ready for bed. Tomorrow she has to join Light on an important mission. She tells herself, "I have to make Lord Light happy somehow. Tomorrow I'll be training with him." The next morning, Light walks into the dungeon, where he meets Najuna, Aoki, and Ellie. They begin discussing their plan to accompany Light to the surface. Today is the day he will finally complete his revenge. He agrees to take all three of them with him. They continue talking, but suddenly, a huge hellhound appears behind them. When Light sees it, he remembers his terrifying past, the time when he had no power and the hellhound attacked him before. But now things are completely different. As soon as the maids see the hellhound, they become furious. Their mana and aura skyrocket to insane levels. The hellhound becomes terrified, overwhelmed by the power of the three girls, and drops to its knees. But Light stops them. He walks toward the hellhound and says, "Are you scared? Don't be, just go." The hellhound quickly escapes. Light then turns to the three girls. "Are all of you ready to head to the surface?" They answer, "Yes, Master Light, we're ready." And so, Light and his companions begin their journey to complete his revenge. The moment he has waited 3 long years for has finally arrived. After that, we return to the City of Wolves. By now, Jiro had become incredibly famous across the entire city. People admired him, some even worshipped him like a god, and Jiro enjoyed every bit of it. He walked forward proudly, craving even more of this attention. But then his eyes fell on a human boy. He walked straight toward him, kicked him hard, and even spat on him. Jiro said, "You filthy humans! You've even reached this place?" After that, he went into a bar with his gang, where everyone showered him with praise. Many people called him Boss Jiro, and Jiro loved hearing it. He told them, "Eat as much as you want. Tonight's party is on me." "Thank you, boss," they shouted. No one could believe that Jiro had now become the vice commander of the Wolfmen. And if his influence kept going like this, it wouldn't be long before he became the leader of the entire Wolf Clan. The whole crowd was excited, and Jiro himself was thrilled. Everyone began asking him, "Master Jiro, where did you get all this money? You must have worked really hard. You probably took only the best job requests from the Adventurers Guild. Just like the job you did 3 years ago. That's when your fate completely changed. What was that job about?" "Are you crazy?" someone else said. "That was a national secret. Master Jiro can't tell you." "Oh, I see. Sorry, Mr. Jiro." "No problem," Jiro replied. "Drink as much as you want." They kept enjoying themselves, until Jiro suddenly remembered that job from 3 years ago. The job that made him rich. The same job where he betrayed Light. He murmured to himself, "I still can't believe I was paid so much just to kill a child. But I never understood why the herbs said what they said, or what their true purpose was." While they were still talking, a strange human girl walked in. That girl was May. May approached Jiro and asked, "Lord Jiro, I know you were part of the same trap that involved Light." "Oh, yeah, I was part of it. Light was a good friend. I was Lord Light's personal maid. And do you know, Light had noble blood?" "What? He had noble blood?" "Yes, that's the truth." "I want a favor from you," she said. "Go ahead," Jiro replied. "I want you to take me to the place where Lord Light took his last breath." "So that's what you want? Fine, I'll do it." But inside, Jiro began wondering if he should actually help her. After all, only the herbs knew the real secret behind Light's death, and they were the ones who ordered it. Still, he kept thinking about May. Before he could say anything, May added, "I'm not asking you to do this for free. I'll pay you in gold coins." When they saw the gold, Jiro and his men were stunned. They immediately agreed. Jiro said, "All right, he was a good friend. I can at least do this much for him." But in his mind, he had only one thought. He had to finish this mission no matter what. If this girl was setting a trap for him, she was still just a powerless human. He wasn't worried. Jiro and his gang began leading Mei toward the dungeon. But soon, Jiro noticed something. Mei's mana was slowly fading. He started forming a plan. He would take her to the base, kill her, and then do all sorts of horrible things to her corpse. The thought alone made him excited. He walked ahead and finally pointed toward a spot. "This is the place," he said. "This is where my friend Light took his last breath." "So this really is the place?" Mei asked. "Yes, a monster attacked him, and I couldn't do anything. It was too powerful." This was the location where Light had disappeared through teleportation. Mei was shocked. She began to pray for him. Meanwhile, Jiro quietly blocked the exit, ready to trap her. But Mei suddenly said, "How could you betray a young boy like that?" Jiro froze. How did she know? Mei whispered to herself, "If only I had been there with Lord Light. He wouldn't have had to spill his blood. No one would have betrayed him." Mei's anger rose. The man who betrayed Light was standing right in front of her. Her mana pressure exploded outward. When Jiro and his men felt the pressure, they were completely stunned. They had never experienced anything like this in their lives. Mei, furious, said, "I will end you." But before she could strike, a voice behind her said, "Mei, please don't. Jiro is my prey." Jiro heard the voice and froze in terror. It couldn't be possible, but he recognized it. Light was still alive. Light pulled back his hood and said, "Hello, Jiro. Did you recognize me?" No, this can't be. You're Light?" Even then, Jiro remained confident. He believed he could still kill Light. He knew Light had no powers. "You're still just a human," Jiro growled. "A human with no power at all." Light simply watched him. "It seems you still haven't changed, Jiro. I know you must have many questions. How I survived, how I know Mei." But Jiro was already furious. "I'll kill you both one by one. Do you even realize? You're just two humans. My entire gang is here. I'm not some level 15 human anymore. I'm level 150. And every one of my men is above level 130. We'll crush you one after another." He roared with rage. A pack of wolf monsters charged toward Light, but before they could reach him, Mei stepped forward and sliced off their heads in a single second. Jiro and his gang watched in shock, completely frozen. Right then, Light says to Mei, "Mei, thank you, but I need you to do something for me. Please keep an eye on the dungeon exit. No one should be able to get out." "Okay, Master Light," she says, and heads over there. By now, Jiro was completely furious. He warns his men, be careful around him. Even he couldn't understand what had just happened. But one thing was clear. His only goal now was to somehow kill Light. He orders his men, "Just stay with me. Humans are useless for anything anyway." Light looks at him and says, "Jiro, you really haven't changed." "What do you mean I haven't changed? Everything I said is reality. Humans are far inferior to us werewolves. Even your rank is way lower." The moment he says that, all the wolves charge at Light. They were bloodthirsty and ready to tear him apart. But in just 1 second, Light kills every last one of them. Nobody could understand what even happened in that single moment. Light walks up to Jiro. "So now what do you think, Jiro? Do you still believe I'm nothing?" "I'll kill you, Light. I'll kill you," Jiro snaps, stepping back. He pulls out a small orb from his pocket. "Now I'm going to use my weapon. Free rain monster, appear." Suddenly, Jiro summons a free rain monster with a level of 500. Its power was terrifying. Jiro was confident now, convinced this monster would tear Light apart. "Kid, I'm going to end you right here. This is going to be fun." Light, however, was excited too. "All right, let's play a game. I won't move from this spot. Go ahead, attack me as fast as you can." Jiro's monster unleashes a massive blast of magic at Light. When the smoke clears, Light is standing there unharmed. Jiro is shocked beyond words. Light finally loses his patience. He activates his unlimited gacha ability and summons a free rain monster of his own, a criminal god, level 9000, a terrifying creature with overwhelming power. The moment this monster breathes toward Jiro's summoned beast, it explodes into pieces in a single second. Nobody could understand what had just happened. Jiro breaks down, crying. How can a level 500 monster die so easily? He was shaking all over. Fear had taken over completely. Then Light reveals his actual level. When Jiro sees it, his eyes almost fall out of his skull. A level 99? How can a human reach that? Humans can only reach level 100 at best. He was completely stunned. He starts begging, Light, please forgive me. I was just following the high-ups' orders. I don't have a brain, I swear. I only did what they told me. Please forgive me. Fine, Light says. Then answer me this. Who are your masters? They're the high-ups from the surface world. They have insane amounts of energy. What's their name? I don't know, Jiro says, terrified. Light gets even more angry. Please, I'm telling the truth. I don't know anything. Light looks at the other wolves. What about you? Do you know anything? Yes, I know. Me too. But before they can say anything, May slices them into 1,000 pieces in 1 second. She says, How dare you lie to Lord Light? She had already used her eye judgment ability and knew every one of them was lying. She had no choice but to eliminate them. Jiro, watching all of this, was terrified beyond imagination. All right, Jiro, I have one more question for you. What is it? What do you think? If we fought your world's high-ups, would we win or not? And remember, you must tell the truth. My eye judgment is still active. Jiro was shaking so hard his pants were already wet. Master Light, you're very strong, but you're just one person, and the high-ups are an entire group. So I don't think you can beat them. Light hears that and gets angry again, just as I thought. So Jiro, you're coming with me. With you. Light uses a teleportation spell and brings Jiro to his kingdom. When Jiro sees it, he's completely stunned. Light and May walk forward, entering the place where Light's entire army stands. Demigods, demi-humans, robots, and many more. All of them hold deep respect for Light. Light sits on his throne and everyone bows before him. You may lift your heads now, he says. Jiro checks their levels and nearly faints. Every single soldier's level was in the 4-digit range. Even the weakest among them was level 1500. 4 of them were level 9999. Jiro couldn't believe what he was seeing. Could a human really create something like this? Light turns to him. So tell me again, Jiro. Do you still think I can't defeat your high-ups? Jiro looks around and realizes the truth. We created this monster? No, he's not a monster. He's a god of destruction. Light smirks. Did you call me a god? Maybe I am. After all, my gift is unlimited gacha. Light then announces his decision. He will travel to the surface and start a war against the high-ups. He turns to his massive army. So, are you all ready for war? After some time, Light heads to the surface to meet his family in a nearby village. But the moment he walks forward, his eyes go wide. He can't believe what he's seeing. The village that existed just a short while ago is now completely destroyed. He can't understand what could have happened here. But the only thing giving him a bit of relief is that he still hasn't found the bodies of his family. 6 months later, Light returns to his village with a gold knight and an assassin named Nemomu. The first thing he does is pay his respects to the villagers. By now, he's almost certain that someone attacked them, and it might be the same secret society that once planned to kill him. Maybe, while trying to assassinate him, they ended up reaching his village and wiped it out as well. Light doesn't know what to do next, but Gold, the knight, says they should leave the area soon because dangerous monsters come out at night. They could die if they stay. Nemomu snaps at him. How dare he talk like that? They will do whatever Lord Light commands, but even she knows they need a plan. They decide they must find the people responsible for destroying Light's village. Light vows in his heart that no matter what, he will hunt them down. When he finds them, he will destroy them. His aura becomes so intense that even Nemomu tells him to calm down, and Light finally agrees. Light takes out a mask from his pocket. It will hide his identity and keep anyone from sensing his true power level. Now they're ready. Their plan is to go to the city of Dega and register as adventurers so they can gather information. That's the only way they'll find out who attacked Light's village. Nemomu asks why the Comrades are going to the city of Dega, but Light tells her that on the surface he isn't Light. He is dark because no one can know his real identity. She apologizes. Light explains they need to stay in Dega as adventurers so they can move freely and investigate. Eventually they reach the forest and continue the rest of their journey on foot, but soon they spot some dwarves bullying humans and stealing their supplies. When the dwarves see Light and his group, they get excited and attack. Light's team defeats them in just 2 seconds. One of the humans, an adventurer named Carnell, thanks them and says he's also heading to the city of Dega. The group joins him in his wagon. Carnell's daughter is shocked to see humans defeating dwarves so easily. She asks if they're high-ranked adventurers. They explain that they haven't even registered yet. In Cho, Dark tells her that they're going to Dega to become adventurers. Carnell explains that the city of Dega is a dwarven city surrounded by the human and elven kingdoms. Soon they arrive at the gate. Dark and his team thank Carnell and continue on foot. Before leaving, Carnell tells them he owns an inn and they're welcome to stay there if they need a place. The group plans to maintain a low profile as adventurers. They're excited. This is their first time exploring the surface. After reaching the Adventurer Guild, the people inside react with fear and quickly step away from them. Light thinks to himself, looks like nothing has changed. They still hate humans. They go to the receptionist and register. But when Nemomu realizes they ranked Dark as an F-rank adventurer, she gets furious. How dare you give Lord Dark an F rank? The receptionist laughs and tells her she must be crazy. Everyone starts at F rank. They leave and head to Carnell's inn. Carnell's daughter lights up when she sees them again. Carnell asks Dark what he needs. Dark tells him he wants to buy the entire top floor of the inn for a month, and no one should enter while he's staying there. He hands Carnell some gold coins, and Carnell agrees. Later on the top floor, Nemomu asks Light why he wants to become an adventurer. Why not stay at the base and rule his kingdom from there? Light gets angry. Do you want me to ignore my revenge? She quickly denies it. Light's mana surges so fiercely that everything around him begins to shake. Gold steps in to calm him down, and Light finally regains control. The next day, Light and the others head toward the dungeon. Everyone is excited because Gold is wearing a full set of golden armor. They reach the entrance, only to find a long line of people waiting. Light learns this dungeon is extremely high level. Suddenly, a group of humans cuts the line. Everyone around them trembles in fear. Light scans them and realizes they're very high-ranked. Then he hears the real reason. Right now, the Dwarf Kingdom and Elf Kingdom are at war, fighting over control of this dungeon. Light steps forward and tells them there's a line, but one of the hooded men threatens it. He's ready to use his signature weapon, but his companion stops him, reminding him that using that weapon here would be stupid. They leave. Everyone cheers for Light and tells him he did a great job. A group of young adventurers comes over to thank him. They ask if Gold's armor is really made of gold. He tells them yes, it's real. They ask if this is their first time entering a dungeon. Light says yes. The kids warn him that this dungeon is extremely high level, and adventurers die here every day. They tell Light and his team they should bring food. But it turns out Light and his friends didn't bring anything to eat. Soon it's the kids' turn to enter the dungeon. But Light and his group had already stored plenty of supplies inside their item boxes. Finally, it was Light's turn to enter the dungeon. All of them started moving forward. Until now, none of them had explored any other dungeon, and this one was an elite-level dungeon. Gold, Nemomo, and Light moved ahead. Light explained that dungeons have multiple floors, and the deeper you go, the more intense the dungeon's mana becomes. And now, they finally stepped inside the dungeon where the scenery was truly breathtaking. Light immediately pulled out a few power-ups from his unlimited gacha, and then they all started flying forward so they could clear the dungeon floors quickly and return to their own world. They advanced deeper inside. Meanwhile, in the forest, we see a few hooded figures, the same ones who previously ran into Light. One of them, the elf, stepped forward and unsheathed his sword. He began cutting down every orc in sight, overwhelmed with rage because he was still furious at Light. His anger only grew, and his power surged. With a single slash, he wiped out all the orc monsters around him. He shouted, furious, "I am an elite white knight. How dare that girl speak to me that way? I am a hero, and my name is Kyoto." But then his companion stepped forward, another dark elf. He urged him, "Master Kyoto, please calm down." "How am I supposed to calm down? I have to kill that human kid no matter what." We see that Kyoto's level is 1500. He told Yannick, "I'm a hero. I need to level up no matter what, and once I do, I'll finish that human boy." Yannick replied, "Yes, master, I know. I'll help you however I can to increase your level." And the two of them continued deeper. As for Light and his group, they also cleared several monsters and collected magical gems. By now they had reached the 3rd floor of the dungeon. They decided it was time to head back to the 1st floor, the surface. They began flying upward. But on the way, they spotted a group of human adventurers fighting goblins. Light's team decided to help them. Suddenly, Light and the others dropped down from above. Before they could do anything, the adventurers began killing the goblins themselves. But then, out of nowhere, a snake attacked them from behind. Light rushed forward and saved them just in time. Right then, Light and his companions sensed something approaching. Light said, "An enemy is coming toward us." And then, from within the forest, several dragonfang wolves emerged. Everyone froze in shock at the sight. But Light spoke up. "No, these aren't enemies." The adventurers stared at him. "They're not enemies. Then who are they?"